unplugged both of these. Saw this when chasing this doe and shot him while he was moving. I was kind of afraid I missed, but opened him up. It's just a 5-pointer. Not too little, not too big. Nothing to write home over. And that one circled back around, like while I was waiting to go check on that one. Stood right in the middle of the road, right in front of where I was at. It's like a private family, you know, like a little road on a piece of land. But busted her standing right there, so got a little bit of meat. So this is going to be an overtly philosophically Christian-based video, because I'm going to talk about the idea of self-sufficiency as it pertains to Christian preppers, Christian survivalists. That's what I would consider myself. And yeah, I say things that I shouldn't. You can look at this channel and you could say this guy isn't the best Christian in the world, and you'd be right. That said, I'll continue. We talk about self-sufficiency, and I use the word too, and I think that there's a place to use it. But for Christians who would understand God's sovereignty, we understand that our plans, self-sufficiency means us being willing to put that effort out, but that ultimately our plans come to fruition through God. Yes, I'm driving. Yeah, the video is probably going to show a lot of black most of the time. Maybe I can fix that a little bit. Maybe not. As far as I know, this ain't illegal. But we have this idea that we're going to be self-sufficient. But those plans come to fruition through God. God allows those things to happen. So these 2 deer I killed in the beginning of this video, I'm not really a hunter. They're not anything to write home about either. The buck is a small buck and the doe is a decent sized doe. But I didn't grow up being a hunter. I mean, I went out in the woods and I killed stuff because it was looking at me. And maybe that's not the most Christian thing to do, but anyway. You know, a redneck kid running around in the woods with 500 rounds of .22 with his cousins blasting off 500 rounds every other weekend, you know, doing his thing. So, but I didn't grow up hunting. I liked military surplus. I liked semi-automatic guns. That's still my deal now. AR-15s, crap like that. I didn't grow up doing a whole lot of hunting. I may have killed 1 deer as a kid with my grandpa, but that's about it. I'd helped him clean a bunch out before that. But what I'm saying is I'm not a real experienced hunter. And I've had a run of seasons where I didn't get crap in the last 5 years. So I've been trying the last 5 years, and this seems to be the most successful, last year being the most successful before this one. So it seems like the more effort that I put in, the more I'm getting out of it. But I find myself, when I was about to shoot these 2 deer, I've been out there for 3 or 4 days not really getting anything. I pray about hunting. You know, I'm sitting out there and I'm like, you know, just give me something to give me experience, give me the ability to shoot it, because I'd even missed one 2 days before this. I'd missed a good looking buck, but completely missed him, so at least I didn't injure him. But I was like literally asking God, you know, send something my way and give me the ability to shoot it, because ultimately our plans are in God's hands, whether we're the best riflemen on the planet or whether we freaking suck. So these 2 doe, this 20 minutes after praying this, these 2 doe come out, or 2 doe, well, yeah, I think there was 2 doe in the beginning. Yes, there was 2 doe, and there was a buck chasing them. And they come out from behind my stand and run around, and I'm standing up because my back was hurting sitting on this makeshift platform deer stand. So I watch them come around, knock the safety off the gun, and I'm like, I whistle, trying to get one of them to stop, but none of them stop. And they go around this trailer that's out there in my little hunting area and loop back around, and I'm like, I guess I'm going to pull a running shot on this thing. So I pull up, I'm checking, I'm looking back through the scope, checking, and all this happened in a matter of a few seconds. And I end up touching it off as he's entering the edge of my scope. And you saw the wound that I showed at the beginning in the first couple of clips of this. And he stood back there. I was pretty sure I hit him. He stood back there in the briars and weeds, and I kept seeing his tail flapping, and he's up looking around, and I almost fired again, but I'm like, man, I think I hit him. So I sat there and I wait about 10 minutes, because I was going to wait 20 before before I went over there and checked on him. And the doe circles back around like 10 minutes later. And so I pop her, and she goes stiff and falls over, and that was that, man. She never took another step. That was pretty cool. But the idea that I did that just blows my mind, that I'm not that good. I've never taken a running shot at a deer. I'm not that good to take a running shot and knock one down. I really feel like that was an answer to prayer on that. For me to get experience cleaning the animal, get experience making another kill, and all this stuff, because this is all preparation for what Wrangler Star would call the coming struggle, So I want to get good at everything I can get good at. Plant identification, butchering animals, making kills on animals, being quiet enough for them to even come by. And ultimately God enables all that. So I feel like, I gained experience there, but the credit to that kind of goes to God. I'm not good enough to pull up a scope and just blast a full running target and just... Man, the blood splatter you saw on the leaves there doesn't do it justice. It looks small on the camera, but that's like a 4 or 5 foot square circular area it just exploded as hard or whatever. Wherever it really kind of hit him, it opened him up good, And I was just like, man, that's the hand of God guiding me there. So I don't know. I just felt like this is a thing that I needed to give credit where it's due. I'm going to turn this light off. I need to give credit where it's due and be thankful. It wasn't the biggest deer on the planet, but it was an experience for me. It was an experience, where God kind of winks at you and helps you to pull through on something. One thing I want to add, I think that God coming along Christian people and giving them that momentary ability that they didn't have is going to be a huge factor in the coming struggle, not just about hunting or any of that, but whether it's gardening, whether it's defending your family. I know what that involves. If you think that God wouldn't come alongside somebody and help them to put an end to people coming to do evil to them, then you haven't read the Old Testament. So with that, I just wanted to make the point that as Christians who are prepping, if you're a secular person, then disregard all the God talk, but if you're curious, maybe be genuine and ask for, I don't know, not so much a sign, but, I don't know, it's one of them deals, reach out, if you're not a believer, but you're curious, reach out to God, pray, and maybe that is asking for a sign, but, I guess my point is for Christian preppers, it's always going to be God that gets us through, whether it's growing our food, whether it's defending our family or all that stuff. And you should think about that. You should cover your family and your preparedness in prayer. So with that, I will end. So sorry for the addendum here, but I think that's the overall distilled nugget of this.